It's Thursday the 22nd of April 2021, and apologies for the voiceover on this, but I had a slight problem with the camera, trying to get the audio to work, so the very beginning of this video I've just had to do a voiceover. Basically I'm going today to do a trip down memory lane. Go and try and find a pub that my father had back in the middle 60s to early 70s, and take the day from there. The weather is absolutely cracking. It's bright, it's nice, and it definitely is not cold. The route we're going to take today is from Lewes in East Sussex up through past Uckfield, and then head left towards Newark, through Chailey, Skeins Hill, Haywards Heath, and then on to Billingshurst and Wisborough Green, and end up at Curd Ford, where hopefully the pub is still there. I shall be going then from there to Balls Cross and Petworth, and then come back down through Pulborough. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so according to the AA route map, that journey is 86.8 miles or 139.6 kilometres. So quite a nice little run out today. It says 2 hours and 40 odd minutes, but I shall make stops on the way, and so it'll be three and a half hours for me. Okay, let's get on the trail out. Well, I'm not quite sure what happened there with the camera. A little bit of a blip, I think. Just had to reset it. But we're just outside of Skeins Hill, heading towards Haywards Heath now. Stuck in a little bit of traffic here. In Haywards Heath, this is the park to the left. Fun fair usually goes on there in the summer. Well, I've just stopped for a couple of minutes because a little bit of cramp in the leg, so we're actually now in Billingshurst, and this is the old town of Billingshurst. The King's Arms been there for since 1500s, I expect, with the Six Bells right next door to it. That's nice to see those two pubs still around. But we'll get on the move shortly, as we're not that far away now. We go through Withersfield Green, where Phil Collins lived at one time, and then on to Curd Ford. Right, we're now heading towards Wisborough Green. We're 2 miles from Wisborough Green, and very famous pub on the green there called the Cricketers, which an old friend of mine had for 30 years, I should think. I'll drop the visor a little bit on the windy side. Yeah, Chubley from the Publi had it. His old mum had it. Mum and Dad had it for 30 or 40 years before him. He took it over, and I think he was there until somewhere around about 2000 when he retired out of it. I remember him running it when I was a kid, and it's brings back old memories. But we should be able to see that in a second. Oh, just coming into the town of Wisborough Green now, village. Not a town, it's a village. And some really lovely old buildings here. I wonder how much this has changed. I haven't been over here since, don't know when. Long time ago. Here's the village green. I used to play cricket there when I was a child. And there's the cricketers. That hasn't changed, except they've got a tent outside, but that's because of the COVID situation. Now we're going to head on the back roads to Coldwartham. Many a time as a child I came up here with my dad in the car, and it'll just be interesting to see how it's changed. We've got 2 or 3 miles before we get to Coldwartham, so I'll pick up when we get a bit closer. Well, this is the start of coming into the village of Coldwartham itself. There's the church on the left, and the village green, that's not changed. Probably very difficult to change some of these. There used to be a shop here. I'll go just along here for a minute. There used to be a shop next to the church, but looks like it's converted into houses now. Yeah, that's not here anymore. The church is still here though, which is the roads don't get any better. It's the half moon at Coldwartham. That was our competition. So we'll now go up to the Foresters, which is just up here on the right. There used to be a grocer's store here on the left. I don't suppose that's still there. No, that looks like it's turned into a house now. Oh dear, how things change over the years. What a shame. I remember going down there as a child and getting a quarter of tea for my mother. Now the Foresters is here. Right, it's still called the Foresters as well. Well. Pub on the village green. Unbelievable. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to park the bike, and then I'm just going to have a wander and see exactly what it's all about. It hasn't changed at all. Unbelievable. to be a dartboard. That's not there anymore. Used to be a dartboard on that wall there. The toilets are where my dad had them put. So he had that out there. Hello. Yeah, that's okay. I'm just being nosy. My father had this pub back in 1965. So I'm just sort of seeing what's changed, and there isn't anything.
Do you want a menu for lunch or?
No, I'm just going to have a drink if that's okay.
What would you like?
Could I have a fizzy orange?
Orange juice and lemonade?
Yes, that'd be lovely, thank you. Incredible. Nothing really has changed. The garden has changed. This wasn't here. When I was a child, this was an orchard. But, I'll give you a quick look round that. All the trees have been cleared. Quite incredible, really. The building is exactly the same as it was. Not changed. Well, we'll just make a walk back now. But see the side of the building. Nothing really is any different at all here. It's exactly the same as what it was back in the 60s. This building's been put up. This one was never here. But the pub itself is still exactly the same as it was. Thank you very much. Quite a nice trip down memory lane. And one last scan of the pub. They're fairly recent. I don't know when they were put in, but that was just an empty piece of ground there. Somebody's put a few bits and pieces in for the kids. Well, we get back on Henry and make our way to Balls Cross and then out to Petworth, I think. Well, that made a pleasant change. It's been a long time. So I think we'll go now down, we'll go up to Balls Cross and then out to Petworth. It's a while since I've come down this road as well. remember certain things. It's always great fun. It's getting very windy down there now. This bridge back in 1960 odd flooded, and I remember trying to come back across this with my dad in the car. This bit was under about 2 foot of water. If I remember rightly, the pub at Ball's Cross was called the Stag, and it's right on the bend by the garage, if that's still there, but we're just about to find out. Now the garage is here on the right, or was. It looks like it still is. Yeah, that is still there. Well, well, well. And the Stag is just round here on the right, and that's still there. Well, that's good to see after all this time. A lot of these village pubs closed up because of lack of trade, but it's nice to see they're still going. We're just coming into Petworth. Again, as a child, I used to come here with my mum, and she used to have to do the shopping. It's a really lovely, lovely place. This on the right hand side here, this Petworth Park, which is we'll do a run up through the town, I think. This wall here on the right is all part of Petworth Park, and very famous that is for the deer and stuff like that they've got. Some lovely old buildings here. I wonder if the square is still there. Oh, the antique shop's still there. And the one-way system. Yeah, terrific. Well, well, well. Yeah, none of this has changed. Wow. There was we'll go left here towards Pulborough, but Mark Dalton used to have a shop here, the famous Dalton China. He lived at North Chapel, which he was quite a regular in the pub at one time, back in the day. Probably not with us any longer. This is about 90 something. But yeah, we'll head out through to Fittleworth. There's a pub down there called the I think it's the Black Horse, and it's not Fittleworth, it's Byworth. Black Horse at Byworth. And there's in my early teens, sort of 17, 18, it used to be a meeting place for the youngsters, the young lads at the time, and we used to call it the Heinz 57 because you had 57 varieties of people in there. Everything from the extremely wealthy aristocrats to the yobs like us. No, that's not true. But it was, yeah, it was quite a funny place, really. And every age group, really, I suppose, from 70 down to sort of 18. So, I can't remember exactly where it is, but it's off of this road here somewhere, down to the right. That's the World Diggers. So it's down one of these country lanes. We've got another motorbike coming up behind us. Let him go in a minute. To go. David doesn't. I don't know. But, yeah, it's really incredible. Quite a lot of difference here. This is interesting. This wasn't here, so this must be part of the oh, maybe it was there, maybe I just don't remember it. Oh, see, they put that in there for nothing. Fittleworth. And then into Pulborough. Let's pick this up a bit later on. So I don't think there's an awful lot to see between here and there, just the country lanes. So. We're just coming into to Pulborough and railway station on the left hand side, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a trip down to a little place called Coldwartham, which is only a couple of miles from here, and that was the last pub my father had, the Labouring Man at Coldwartham. Unfortunately, he passed away in that pub, which is not good. But we'll pop down there and have a look at the pub is still there. We're just getting out of this traffic now, and we'll head down to Coldwartham, which is a strange scenario, really. The first pub my father ever had was on the A29 at Ockley, the Brewery Arms at Ockley, no longer there now, and the last pub he had was also on the A29. It's a little bit bizarre. Haven't really thought about it until today, but it's only a couple of miles down here. There's village of Coldwartham, and I was wrong. There's Cooper's Farm to the right, over there, and this is the top entrance into it. It loops around and comes out the bottom way. Unfortunately it's not one way, so, and there it is, the labouring man. Well. Let's just stop here for a minute. They've done quite a lot out here. That was just car park when we had it. But again, probably because of the COVID, that they've had to do it, and they've opened up the back, which was a garden, into a car park, which makes a lot of sense. So, well, there you have it. That was my bedroom up there, the last window on the right. Now I think we'll go down to the Marsh Road. This there's a cottage here on the left, belonged to a very good friend of mine. Road ahead closed. Ah, you nightmare. Oh, what a nightmare. So I can't do that. Oh, that's a bloody shame. Oh well. Not to be, will be. We'll have to go back through Pulborough. Was going to go down there, which is the old Marsh Road, which brings you out past Parham Park and onto the Storrington Road. For some reason they've locked it off. I got married there, that church. Well, no, this church here. Well. This is Pulborough itself. Managed to get through those traffic light systems. Oh dear, they've got a camera. First time I've seen one of those for a long time. Not a lot changed here, but there wasn't any space to make too many changes. So, the White Horse used to frequent that regularly back in the day. Back over the River Arun, crossed it in Pulborough, it's now crossing it again. There it is there. Which takes you through Gretham and Wrexham. And then into Coldwartham. Let's have a look how we're doing for fuel. We need to get some get some fuel. There's an Esso station in Storrington, which belonged to a friend of mine's father, Monty White, lovely old boy. And Paul, his son, we used to knock around together back in the day. And, then he got married, then I got married, and then we lost touch for several years, as you do. We'll get some fuel in a minute. We're now making our way back. We've done the loop, Billingshurst and Petworth, round through, and we're now just come across the Washington roundabout, heading towards, we're on the Stenning, Bramber, Beeding roads, although they've basically been bypassed now, the villages, to cut down the traffic. This is the road that takes you through to Shoreham. I think it's the 283. I can't remember, but anyway, this is the one from the A24, which is the London to Worthing Road. It comes out past the cement works at Shoreham. So we'll pick up a little bit later on that one. I think rather than seeing we're doing a trip down memory lane, I think I might instead of going out through Shoreham and then down the horrible dual carriageway, I think what we'll do is we'll go left here, and up through Small Dole to go and try and find and see if it's still there, Blackstone Nurseries. Now, we had Blackstone Nurseries. I've got to try and think about this time wise. Got to have been, I think, after I think it was after the Foresters. Warning grid. Yeah, it must have been early 70s. Must have been early 70s. Must have been when we came out the Foresters. I think we bought Blackstone Nurseries then. Well, my dad did anyway, I didn't. I would have been about 12 then, so yeah, probably about 72. Yeah, so we must have left the Foresters and gone there. So what we'll do is we'll go and try and find it, see if it's still there. If it's not a nursery anymore, it'll still be a house, I'm sure. But just coming into the little village of Small Dole. This road, if you stay on it, will take you through to Henfield. We're going to do a right and do a cut through. To save going all that way. You just basically cut the triangle off. We go on the third side of the triangle. Right, that's the little cut through. And this is the main 281 from Henfield. So and we'll go up into Blackstone Lane. I don't think I've been down this road since about 1973 or 4. 1973 probably. Can't even remember it. All I know is that we had Blackstone Nurseries, which is down here somewhere. Before you get to the bend that used to be on a post office. I'll recognise it when I see it. Roads are diabolical. This is starting to look familiar. Now, Blackstone Nurseries is here on the right. There it is there. I'm just going to pull in here for a minute. It's called Blackstone Down now. Part. And they've tarmacked the drive. But this used to be Blackstone Nurseries. Oh well. And the house is still there. So Interesting. Yeah. I daren't go up there because they think I'm being nosy. So let's just go up here, round the village. Yep, there's the house there, on the right. Incredible. Now this bends up round to the right, and this one straight in front of it used to be a post office, which is no longer there. Now a house. Things change. I used to drive my dad back from the pub down this lane when I was about 11 or 12. We used to go to the wheat sheaf for Woodmancote, and I would drive him back down this lane. I don't think they've resurfaced it since the 70s. Now, if you were to turn left here, that would take you to the wheat sheaf of Woodmancote. And a friend of my father's used to have it called Glengurner.